Hey, Mr. Clash here with three-star attack replays in today's episode, and they're all on kind of the same base. They're the same base, but not really, quite a little bit different layout. Now, this clan, don't do this in Clan Wars, had the same base 3 times, but all they did was they rotated the base around. So 3 of us hit this base with 3 different combinations to see which one would work the best. Now, we did figure HG, HB of some description was probably going to be the best before we attacked it, and it turns out it is. So we were kind of right. So Googly's coming in with a Queen Walk on this one. Now, the first thing you will notice is that, yes, he's got level 30 heroes, and yes, the base is not a max base. And that comes into play a little bit later on as we go up and down the chart a little bit, up and down the map. So yes, you can see Town Hall 8, level 6 air defences, 2 of them, 2 level 7 air defences, level 1 expos, and weak archers, weak cannons. It's all weak, and what that means is with his level 30 Queen, he can actually destroy things a lot quicker than he would otherwise. That's basically what it means. The Queen takes fewer shots to get something down. Wizards take fewer shots to get something down. Everything inflicts the same amount of damage, but the items that they're doing the damage fall quicker. And those items can't do as much damage to your own troops as well. So obviously you've seen the Queen Walk started, cleared that first compartment down there, cleaned the area where the Queen is, get the bowlers and the giants in, 3 rage spells or 2 rage spells for them to start pathing around. Obviously once that first little section is taken out, you can see that the giants will now just circle around like a big horseshoe, the giants and the bowlers, and the base will just gradually fall. A little bit of a Tesla farm on the left-hand side there. He's dropped a couple of hogs on that cannon, which was being distracted, so that's pretty smart. Now that archer's shooting on the couple of hogs, but those hogs aren't going to really be mattered too much because 2 hogs normally takes out an archer or a cannon by itself anyway, without anything else shooting on it. So not a big deal. It's got 6 hogs left and a bit of a Tesla farm to deal with. But he's got both hero abilities left as well, and giants and bowlers, they're being healed. So you just know the base is going to fall. It just can't sustain the firepower that Googly's brought to it. And so there we go. A few hogs go flying. He does have a lot of spring traps in that area. Obviously, the logic being that I've got a bit of a Tesla farm, so people will send in a lot of hogs and those hogs will go flying. So that's the end of the first base. So you'll see, have a look at that army just quickly. 12 giants, 11 hogs. Now, he's bought 12 hogs in this one, a slight little change to the army. 8 wizards, 11 giants instead. Obviously didn't need that many giants. And you'll also notice this base is slightly more upgraded. Only slightly, like the cannons are harder. Now, this attack takes longer than the first one. Now, part of that is, of course, that he sent a troop into that hole in the base to do a lure. So he probably lost about 10 seconds or something there. But overall, this attack takes 10 seconds longer than the first one does. It's slightly different trash around the place as well, so that can play a part in it, definitely. But also because you've got extra stronger cannons, if they just take 1 second or 2 seconds longer each to take down, then you've got 5 cannons that take 2 seconds longer each, so there's an extra 10 seconds in the raid. So again, this is all going to play a part in the third raid, in the third village. Now you'll see that this base is the same as the previous one. The only difference is it's been rotated 90 degrees anti-clockwise. Otherwise it's the same. The bases had slight little differences. So for instance, this one didn't have a builder's hut where that Tesla was, therefore there was a hole in the base. And the air sweepers are pointing in slightly different directions as well. And the trash layout of the trash is a little bit different. So they're copying, the internals are the same. So the position of the wizard to the archer, which is just about to get taken out there now, that's the same. Down in the Tesla farm area at the 6 o'clock part of the base, that's the same. All of the weapons are laid out pretty well the same, just some of the outside trash changes. Now, there's only a minute left in this attack and it's all over. Now, sneaky little builder's hut up in the top corner, trying to be hidden by a P.E.K.K.A statue, but that's not going to cause an issue. But it's a good idea. Also a good idea is, it's a good idea, but it's not a good idea. it does give someone a place to, if they can lure the clan castle, it gives them a easy way to draw it out to the side. The old 6 o'clock builder's hut, that's been known to catch a lot of people because it hides underneath your troop selector. Often hides underneath the troop selector while you're trying to do a raid. So as you can see, the pathing was a little bit different, mostly the same. He kept onto the hogs and just sent them all in at the last minute here instead. Didn't need to send a couple in as the cannons and whatnot were distracted. Just made a slight little change to his attack and send them all in at the last minute. And it's still a 3-star. King still has not used his ability yet, and plenty of bowlers. Healers still up. So even with this outcry that the healers have been nerfed and all this sort of thing, the healers are still up at the end of this raid. Okay, so now we come on to the third version of this base. You will notice that the trash just near the town hall is army camp, so that did play a small little part in the queen pathing for the queen walk. Now this was queen walk, exactly the same army composition as you just saw before, but the attacker ran out of time. The attacker ran out of time because everything is slightly tougher to beat than it was previously. So while it was all lower level, it was fine. When it wasn't lower level, the attacker needed a little bit more time. Now the attacker's queen was not quite as high doing the queen walk and as you just saw in the first two attacks. So slightly modified on this one. Dispense with the queen walk, which does take a lot of time to get that first part of the base, and just come in straight away with the HG HB part. Now because that top compartment did not get taken out by a queen walk, it will affect the pathing, and you'll notice that now that as the queen's shooting up there and the bowlers are taking out what they can, there's nowhere for them to path. It's either going to be up to the top or down to the bottom, and the giants broke through the wall up the top first, so now they all path to the top instead. Now that means that they take out the Tesla farm first instead of pathing around getting to the Tesla farm from the bottom. And of course, once that Tesla farm is down, and it will be in a second, then there's not really much else going to stop this raid from happening. Of course, the giants and the bowlers just take things out as they go. Still got 5 hogs up the sleeve and a heal spell. Now there's no need to get carried away. There's no need to drop the heal spell where that hog's going towards that wizard at the moment, especially when you've got 5 hogs still up your sleeve. So those 5 hogs still up the sleeve, what they will do is, there we go. Coming in now onto that bottom, place the heal spell. So now that archer, the cannon and anything shooting at them from there, the hogs will take out that. The bowlers can take around the rest. The giants are still coming into the middle. There's still a healer up in the middle of the base. So again, all the healer nerf things, healers, well, okay, the healer just went down. As soon as I talk about the healers surviving, the healer just got wiped out. Anyway, I just wanted to show what happens that when you take a successful strategy and you apply it to the same base, as that base's weapons go up in the upgrade order, they get harder and harder to take out, and that can make a change to what you need to do to the attack. It can make an attack take longer and therefore fail, so maybe you need to come in with a different strategy. So there's 3 different attacks on the same base, so don't have the same base in your wars. It's just not a good idea, but also realize that you might need to change your strategy depending on the defenses on the base, because it might take your troops longer, such as your king, your queen and your other troops, it takes them longer to take out the enemy's base, depending on the upgraded status of those weapons, because they have more health points. Anyway, that's it for today's video. I do hope you found something useful in it. I do thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.